Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Product Analytics Weekly Sync. It is the 16th of May, and I'll kick us off by reviewing the build board. The first open issue we have here is designer outputs incorrect visualization definition. Rob, I see your sign on as the DRI on this. And we're also missing a workflow label. You know what the status is?
I do not at all. I know I've related. Is this the title thing? This must be the title thing.
Yeah, this is the title input.
Yeah, I've not dug into this at all. I'm not going to lie.
Cool. That's not a worry. I think this is also related to one of Tim's MRs that we've taken over about saving the visualization, because once we have that figured out, this is also probably going to be solved.
Yeah, I was the original DRI for the saving visualization, but then I took myself off while I was doing infra stuff. So this is sort of a remnant of that.
Cool. Then the 16th milestone planning for product analysts, we probably don't need to talk about. Right now we have update user-facing product analytics docs for first external user phase. Anything you would like to note?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much done. I have one MR that's waiting to be reviewed by Dennis. So he suggested making some changes to a diagram. And with that, I think it will be done.
Okay, so this is actually in review.
Yeah.
Cool. Moved.
Real quick on the issue with the incorrect visualization output, I just wanted to confirm, is that the issue? It's related to the issue of saving the visualization?
Correct. Yeah, okay. It's probably going to be that when we implement the saving of the visualization, we'll just fix this while we're doing that.
Okay, I'm just linking the two so that we can trace that back. Yeah, thank you.
Can we move this one into whatever milestone that one's in, or backlog then, just so it's not cluttering up the view?
Sure.
I think the milestone
if we're not gonna
where it's supposed to be. It's just like we should be working on this.
16.
It's just potentially going to be addressing another issue.
Yeah, it's also potentially going to slip because that other issue doesn't have anyone, I think, working on it right now. In that case, we'll just slip to the next. Cool. In planning breakdown, Dennis, you have upgrade live clusters with Snowplow, Kafka, Analytics Stack. Any updates?
Yeah, so this is unblocked. I am currently in the process of creating the different infrastructure issues to actually update dev.staging and GitLab.com to connect to these clusters or add new information for the instance of production. For example, it's already connected using the existing credentials. We just need to add the Snowplow configurator details so that when we do actually switch things over, new projects will be able to go through that onboarding flow and use the Snowplow tracking. This one will be, I guess, technically in review. I can update the issue because I need to add a bunch of other ones to link to it. But basically, once infrastructure applies that, then we can close this one out.
Cool. Thanks for the updates. Khalil, you have separated ClickHouse from the analytics stack. Any updates?
Yes. Actually, it is not in the planning breakdown. There were multiple options for implementation. So I actually had a talk and we decided to in development now. I'm working on it. So we decided to use the affinities ClickHouse operator. I'm creating some MR for it.
Cool. Dennis, you have the next one, connect dev and staging GitLab environments to their respective clusters.
Yeah, so that's related to the one issue we just went over. So I've just moved that into in dev. But like I mentioned, we just have to, now that we have the clusters for each environment, we just need to connect the two so that we can start, testing things out in dev staging and stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay. Rob, you have the next one, fetch dashboard configurations from the backend. Any updates?
Yeah, I'm so damn close. I keep getting a croc. Last few days have been croc dealing with Snowplow related issues. As I've worked my way through it, I've noticed little bugs and little problems with our implementation, which Jan and Max have been very kindly helping me verify, and in Max's case, fixing. So I appreciate that for the quick turnaround. So I'm now onto the very final test file, and it's going to be out for review, hopefully in an hour or so. Fingers crossed.
Very cool. Max, you have improved management of secrets within the stack. Any updates?
No major updates from last week where we kind of proved that it can be done. Most of the work now is finding the right people to get us our own Okta group and get us added to the production vault. I had some movement overnight from IT, but I need to ping some other people in infra to get an approval somewhere, which I've done. So hopefully progress is being made, but slowly.
All right. Does anyone know of the status of this remove Jitsi related front end code? This is blocked, so
Good.
It's an piece of in progress work, I believe that Elwin's got just ticking along in the background while we're doing the snowplow implementation work. So this isn't going to be doable until we swap over to snowplow anyway.
gotcha. I wonder if this would be better represented in block then, but since you say it's also kind of working on it, I guess NDiv is fine. Cool.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag.
Dennis, you have the next one, connecting dev and staging.
I just
Oh
moved
yeah,
that
oh
over,
yeah,
we covered it, no
that
worries.
is the one we talked about. Sorry
All
about
good.
that. And then this is also the one that we already talked about. Cool. The first two in review items are mine. Add safe visualization as panels to the dashboard. So this is in the final review with our very own Rob here. Thanks so much for your feedback. Yeah, hopefully
I
this
apologize
gets
for my feedback.
if Rob is happy with what I just committed, then hopefully this gets merged. This allows us to it provides a panel with a list of all the available visualizations, both built-in and custom, and allows users to just with one click add those to a dashboard, and it adds it in a new panel, very quick and easy. And then with a recent MR also that you can then save that. The next one is to put an entry point to the dashboard and the visualization designer behind a feature flag. So what this is doing is hiding all of the edits and creating of dashboards and visualizations behind a feature flag, because we don't want to ship that as part of the first customer preview release. So that's also in review. Hopefully that gets merged soon. And Alvin has the next one of add instrumentation details to general settings, analytics settings. I believe I actually reviewed this one, so I think this is
They're all
moving
with
along.
me.
Yeah, okay. Any updates?
No, I told everyone that I'm doing one MR review today, and I'm working on my own MR for once, because yesterday was entirely MR reviews. I will be dealing with these tomorrow.
No problem. Alan, you have the next one for add snowplow support to bring our own cluster. Any updates?
Yeah, that one has all the approvals and was in the process of being merged, and then something got pushed that broke the tests again. So I've got to go through that, but close to being merged.
Oh, very cool.
We've covered this one.
Yep, we've covered this one. Thanks, Dennis. And then we've covered this one as well. Verification, quite a lot in verification. Alan, you have 3 issues. Any that you want to call out?
All of these are waiting for snowplow to be enabled on staging. So once we've got snowplow turned on everywhere, then we go through and verify.
Very
So that's
exciting.
related to the change requests I need to get through, but and then we can verify them in staging. So I'm effectively blocking these.
Damn it, Dennis. Max, you have 2 issues in verification. Anyone you want to call out?
So tracking is, well, they're all in verification now. Just waiting for them to merge. Although to be honest, I might just close the issues anyway, because we can't verify that they're working until the next service ping runs anyway. But they've been tested locally and doing as expected. And then the one below there, I think there might even be another one below that. Oh no,
Not
there
that I
should
see
be.
now.
I didn't create the issue, that's why. But this is basically we're just adding into the dashboard type GraphQL a user-defined field so that the front end can see whether or not a dashboard is custom or not. And additionally, we've added the slug attribute as well, so you can see the slug for a dashboard. But I haven't created an issue for that. They're both in verification and being deployed as we speak.
Great, that's good news. Cool. Moving on to close. Let me get the bookmark. Prove values in YAML. Okay, we have two issues. This one already covered. As I said, you can now add in dashboard, but it's going to be hidden behind the feature flag. So unless you have that enabled, you won't see this one. Then we have an unassigned issue, which is update product analytics settings to match the latest design and copy. This was probably, if I had to guess, promoted to an epic. I don't know if anyone. Okay, Alvin posted an update here saying that these changes are being done in another issue. Cool. Right, in that case, I'll create a bookmark and we can move on to the next agenda item. Dennis.
Yeah, so sorry, I'm just like in the middle of putting this plan together. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to, I posted yesterday on Slack kind of where we're at with the Snowplow switchover. So effectively, the clusters are Snowplow capable. Today, I'm going to verify that they are receiving events to the Snowplow collector. And based on the review of the remaining issues, it looks like once we're able to fetch the dashboards from the backend, we should be theoretically able to enable Snowplow support. So it's good we're catching all of these issues with Snowplow now. So that's great. Since I'll be out, as I mentioned, we still need to wait for infrastructure to connect GitLab to these clusters, but I've just started drafting basically the plan for everyone to understand like what needs to happen so that we can turn this on and also get your feedback to make sure I'm not missing anything. But I think at this point we are able to start at least having project owners of projects that are currently instrumented with Jitsi to prepare merge requests to start using the new version of the SDK, which sends to Snowplow. We won't have the app IDs yet, though I might be able to prepare that ahead of time. But basically, the plan right now that I've spoken to Basti over in analytics instrumentation about is we will have to shut off Jitsi because it interferes with the setup process for Snowplow. And then flip the Snowplow support flag on, run the setup project flow for, actually, I was just thinking part of the plan was to drop all the databases, but then now I'm rubber ducking with 7 other people, but basically we may not have to drop all the databases because if we drop it and scale down Jitsi, then every project owner could just go through the onboarding flow again and get an app ID and update their merge requests. That might be easier. So thanks everybody. I appreciate your feedback on that. But if I got it wrong, then please let me know. But my original thought process was a lot more manual in terms of basically Jitsi creates a database every time it receives an event. So that's why we need to scale it down. And then we would need to run the setup project. But since the onboarding flow is connected to that, then project owners can do that themselves. So for context, that was my thought process. Anyways, what I've detailed is the general plan, and I'll update that for that what I just covered. But long story short is we're able to start enabling Snowplow support, but there will be a cutoff because the Snowplow support flag is an all or nothing thing. So when we execute this, we will stop collecting events from Jitsi, and then we will have to project owners will have to go through the onboarding step again to re-instrument their applications. So yeah, be sure to check out the Slack message if you haven't yet in terms of just the context of what's been going on with the clusters. And then I'll refine this plan in terms of how we'll actually be able to enable it. From the sounds of things, this could happen while I'm out. If anyone would like to, we can coordinate if anyone would like to try to implement this outside. Otherwise, we can try to implement it next week when I'm back. But we're very close to at least enabling Snowplow support, so that's exciting. I have the next point as well. Please check out the 16.1 planning issue. I will be, as a side note, I will be out of office starting Thursday, but if there are any questions regarding any engineering related issues on the 16.1 planning issue, please let me know. I'd love to clarify that before I'm out. And that's all I've got.
Rob, you had a reply on Dennis's
Yeah.
one point. Did you want to voice that?
Yeah, just one. There's one issue which I think is assigned to Alan at the minute, but it's scheduled for 16.1. That is currently technically a blocker for front end to be fully functional, because it prevents the implementation flow from working right now.
Right.
It's not a blocker for like the work I'm doing, because I could just run a patch and whatnot, but to actually fully test this full flow, we'll need that fixed to make backend fully feature complete.
Yeah, that makes sense. Alan, is this something you can prioritize? Like, I guess we could pull it into 16.0, but it'll just go back to 16.1. But since it's already in dev, like, can you make sure that this is something we can prioritize?
Yeah, sure.
Above the others. Awesome. Yeah, thanks for calling that out, Rob. Basically, I just wanted to make sure, yeah, everything snowplow support was ready before we flipped the feature flag on. So yeah, this is a good call out.
Yeah, all the other issues that me and Jan and Max have noted are all non-blocking issues that are mostly related to stuff that we're not planning to release for the first release anyway. So
right, yeah. The focus right now is pre-built dashboards anyways. And of course, this still doesn't get us to customers. So like basically, just as a near-term overview, once we get snowplow, like main priorities, get snowplow support running in production. And then second is what we need to do to get out to customers, which I'll be meeting up with Nels. And if he has any questions, please feel free to answer those. But yeah, small steps.
In that case, unless there's anything else, I think we can all get 10 minutes back to our day. All right. Have a good day. Bye.
ciao.